What's up, everybody? My name is Chad. You're watching Downshift Pass, and this is the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. And that's right, folks, we have the TRD Pro version of the all-new Tundra here. So of course we're going to go over the exterior. It looks good, but I think easily a 35 could fit under there. Go over the interior. All the windows down, sunroof open, that back window open. It kind of gives you an open air convertible feel. Take it for a drive and do the audio test. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and continue watching. All right, folks, and of course, we're going to start, as we always do, with the exterior styling of the car. Now, this is a 2025. Not much has changed in terms of styling, but you'll notice this is a 2025 based on this color, which I get so many questions about. This color is called Mud Bath. Clearly it's brownish, tannish color, and honestly, it really pops on this vehicle, especially when it's dirty. You can't tell, but when it's cleaned up, you absolutely can tell that it is clean. Now with the TRD Pro version, you have this very large, massive grille here. Now you also get the light bar in the front, which is a TRD Pro exclusive. And then you get the orange lights here as well. Now in the rear, you do have the red lights. So it looks really cool, kind of gives it that HD-like look. You have the Tundra stamped into the front bumper here. And then of course you do have your fog lights here as well. Now I do have the bright lights on so you can actually see the light bar, but when you have the light bar off, then you can have these fog lights on. So they do operate separately. Styling again, pretty much the same. So take a look at these headlights here, full LED unit, LED turn signal, LED daytime running light. And then you do have some actual real air vents right there in the front grille. And of course, this being a TRD Pro, if we step under the vehicle, you do have a skid plate to protect all your off-road goodies. And take a look at those red suspension components. Looks really cool. So a skid plate under there as well. You do have TRD Pro stamped onto the hood here. Now this is just a plastic piece, clearly there for aesthetic. It is not functional, as you can see on the other side, no holes or anything, but I think it looks really awesome. Now as we take a step back, this is a massive truck, folks. I mean, it's long, it's wide, it's huge. It sits up about half an inch, or excuse me, it sits up about 1.5 inches versus the standard Tundra. Now let's take a look at these wheels here. These are a 33-inch tire, 18-inch wheel. This is a BBS forage wheel, and this is exclusive again to the TRD Pro. So a nice rugged wheel. You can take a look at the pattern there. The only thing I would say is 33 inches is a little too small. If you just take a look at the stance, it looks good, but I think easily a 35 could fit under there. As you can see, your Fox struts there, TRD stamped onto that. So that looks really awesome. And then this right here is almost like a army looking fatigue situation over the bumper. So you have that in the front as well as the rear. Turn signal on the rear view mirror here, black handles, black mirrors. I love that the roof is not painted black. Toyota loves doing that, but not on this vehicle. And then as you can see, the sunroof up there is vented. We'll talk about that a little bit on the inside. Now as we move to the back here, again, take a look at the marker lights here. I just love that small detail. Now you have a few ways to get into the tailgate. Of course, you can use the handle here, push a button under, and it'll power its way on down. You have lights that come on at the top of the truck, and then you have lights in the truck bed as well. You can also use your knee. So if your hands are full, which might or not, but if your hands are full, you can just kind of guide it up a little bit, and it'll capture itself and go up. And then you do have the option to push the button on the side of the tail light right here. Just push that button and it'll come right on down. You have a button on the interior of the vehicle, as well as a button on the key fob to operate this tailgate. So plenty of options to get into the tailgate. Now this is not the long bed version of the Tundra. This is the standard size, but still pretty good space. As you can see, spray and bed liner is already in there. It's a truck bed. It's exactly what you expect. You do have the tie down hooks or the built-in rails also in this vehicle, and then you have tie downs if you look over in the corner right about there in this vehicle. The only thing I would say is it needs an extender. Since this is the short bed, it would be nice if the extender was built in, so when the tailgate is down, you could just pull that back here. Now you do have this black pattern that you have above the wheel wells on this one as well. And then this TRD Pro stamped into here. This is actually an option. So this one is silver, this is red, as you can see. It's almost like stickers that you can peel off. Dealer installed option, and I think it looks really awesome in the silver and red. You can also get it in black as well. Now the turn signals back here are sequential. Again, this is a full LED unit. It's funny because this looks like you could push this button to open a tailgate, but you can't. And it's a plastic that feels like it's going to fall off, but okay. But yeah, sequential turn signal here. I-Force Max for the engine strapped onto the back, and then a nice strong bumper back here with the same material here. Of course, you do have your parking sensors, cameras all around this vehicle as well. Take a look at those two cameras right there. We'll talk about that in just a moment. As far as exterior styling goes, that is about it. Let me go ahead and show you the turn signal since we're here. So this is how it looks. Hopefully it shows well on camera. I know it's LED, so it's probably showing a little funky, but it's do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. That's how it works. And then in the front, it's also sequential. And there you go. So you can take a look and see that. Hopefully, again, I know it's LED, hopefully it's showing nicely on the camera. Now let's go ahead and step inside of the TRD Pro. Now, of course, this vehicle has keyless entry, so you do have groove right here. If you put your finger there, that'll lock it up. Maybe not. Oh, I have the car on. User error. Let me cut it off. All right, so yeah, put your finger on the groove, car locks right up, mirrors, auto power fold as well. If you want to hop into it, you can use the key. It does have a keyhole, which you don't see often, but you can use the key fob to unlock the door. Otherwise, your hand behind the handle, that unlocks the vehicle. And this is the interior that you are greeted to. I have the lights on for demonstration. That's why you hear all of that. But let's go ahead and take a look under the hood at this I-Force Max engine, because this is why a lot of people have an issue with Toyota's new trucks. Now, of course, it is operated on struts. This is a $75,000 car. What more would you expect? As you can see, I-Force Max there, you do have the orange cables, which lets you know this is a hybrid system. Orange means electrical. And the one thing you won't see on this vehicle anywhere is that it says hybrid. So I think Toyota is trying to shy away from that. They did away with the V8s. They want to let people know this is an I-Force Max engine, not a hybrid engine. But we'll talk about the hybrid engine once we get inside. But this is what you get when you upgrade to the I-Force Max engine. Hood is also pretty light. But let's go ahead and step inside. It is about 1,000 degrees today in Charlotte. So let's get some AC going. Now, folks, this is a climb. Okay, remember when I said it's about 1.5 inches taller than the standard ones? You need some rails here if you have issues with your knees, or if you have older family members that need to get in. I don't have an issue. I've kind of gotten used to it, but if I step up, I mean, look at that 90 degree to get in, you know? So it is a climb to get into the TRD Pro. But to start it right up, foot on the brake, power button is here, and it says TRD. It's a red button there. There we go. So that looks really, really neat. That's typically what you see when you start the vehicle up. Now I have to get this AC going. Ooh, it's hot. All right, folks. So this is the interior of the Tundra TRD Pro. TRD Pro is stamped nicely into the front seats here. Love, love, love that. And then it has like a material or a design rather in the material that you can see here, kind of along the lines of what you see on the exterior in those black parts. So this looks really nice. Heated as well as ventilated seats on the driver and passenger side. They are controlled with buttons here, which is really neat. Now take a look at the gauge cluster here. This is a fully digital display. You control it with the use of the steering wheel here. So with the buttons, got a new camera setup, work with me. With the buttons on the steering wheel, you can control the left side, and then you can choose to control the right side by there's an option here to go to the right side, but you just control it both by the steering wheel. It is very easy. You can change the look of the gauges as well. It doesn't change too much. It's not the most customizable, but it is customizable enough. All the information that you need is right here. Now, if you were to change your drive modes, you have a drive mode selector right down here. So you do drive mode, and then you have your MTS as well, which is for mud and snow and low traction situations. But when it's in drive mode, you just twist this knob here, and this is the animation that you get for sport. You get normal and eco. So not very dramatic at all, not much even changes in the gauge at all. It just lets you know what you're in, and then it'll let you know at the top of the speedometer which one you are in once this screen goes away. So if it's sport, it'll say sport up there, just so you know. Now, if you want to put it in the MTS mode, you just push this button here, it'll go to MTS, and you use the knob to control that. You have a tow haul mode as well as a crawl control. Now, the TRD Pro is fully two-wheel drive all the time. It's not automatic four-wheel drive, so if you did want to put it in that, you could put it in 4 high here, and then you push down to put it in 4 low. Now, of course, you don't want to drive around with it in 4 high. It just messes with the axles. It's not the best thing for the drive line to do. So you just keep it in two-wheel drive mode, and it works perfectly. Now, you do have some towing situations right in here, and then we move along to, well, actually, let me go over to the left side really quick, because you have a lot of buttons here to control. Automatic headlights, this is your fuel pump door. Odo, this is how you turn, or odometer I should say, this is how you turn off the collision avoidance situation, and then the light bar is controlled down here as well. Heated steering wheel in this vehicle, but I love that they have the buttons that you don't use too much right over here, but that you would use, so you want to still have easy access to it over here, so that's really neat. Of course, you do have power folding mirrors. Again, it's a $75,000 truck. Certain things you just would expect. But let's move along to the infotainment screen. Now, this is a massive, massive screen that Toyota has been putting in their vehicles. I absolutely adore it. At nighttime, it's not too bright. You can turn the brightness down to whatever you need. It's just huge. Clearly, you can see everything. Take a look at the map here. And this is Android Auto. It is wireless Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. But Toyota has their own integrated system as well, and it is right here. One really neat thing, if you are an Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, I know Android Auto for sure, and you want to get straight back to Toyota system, one button, boom, it goes right there. Most cars need to adopt that. It makes it so simple to control your radio, your phone settings, anything you want to get to. You just can press one button and you'll be able to get to it. So really nice, large, beautiful screen, works really well, really smooth in its movements. Really great screen. Now, as we move along a little further down, this is going to be your climate control system. Again, this is auto climate control. Driver and passenger are controlled separately, but you have buttons for everything that you need. Heated and driver, or heated and cooled seats are right here for the driver as well as passenger. AC button, volume knob is right here, nice and large. USB charger right here, just really simple controls. Moving a little bit further down is where your less used functionalities are, but they are there. I failed to mention, you do have a power tailgate as well. If you watch my videos, you know one of my favorite features is this view button that Toyota has. You can press view and it pulls up the camera, but let's say I have it in reverse. I'm gonna put it in reverse. So many different camera angles to choose from. Front tires, take a look at that. And then you have rear tires, truck bed. But the cool thing about the truck bed, this button here controls the tailgate. So you can just push that button and the tailgate will open as well as close. And I love that the button is just right there. Just make things simple. Toyota does a really good job of that. So traction control, hazard button, everything you need. You have your parking brake right here, as well as your park hold feature. PRND, very simple. Over for sport mode, you can control the 10-speed transmission to this iForce Max engine. I failed to mention the engine specs, and I was up there just running my mouth, but over 400 horsepower, over 500 pound-feet of torque, matted to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You do have a wireless charger here, as well as a nice little spot to put a phone. Plenty of storage space in this vehicle. 2 cup holders. You have this tray right here, which actually slides back. So if you just need to quickly grab something, you can, and still have storage. You also have storage here so small storage. And of course you can open this middle console and you have all this space in here. I mean, look at this huge water bottle that I have. It fits in there with zero issue. Of course, you do have a panoramic sunroof up here as well. The shade is only halfway back, but I'll go ahead and take it all the way back. So you have a panoramic sunroof, and I love to see how much it opens. This is a huge roof, and just watch how much that it opens. The entire way pretty much. And if you push it back again, it goes all the way back. So a massive open air filling. And if you push this button here, my favorite features in Toyotas, boom, that back window goes down. So with all the windows down, sunroof open, that back window open, it kind of gives you an open air convertible feel. It's just really nice. Now, of course, you do have your digital rearview mirror as well. You can flip it off if you're not a fan, and you see just fine with it or without it, and flip it back on. And that's pretty much it for the front seat. Toyota spelled out nicely here. More storage space under here, I failed to mention. So the glove compartment is decent space as well. Just a really nice place to be in the front. I will say the price of the vehicle and how luxury or luxurious it feels is a little lacking. Doesn't feel like a $75,000 interior, but you can step up to the capstone for that if you want a little bit more luxury. Now let's go ahead and hop into the back very quickly. And if you look at the spec sheet, you will see that this vehicle has less headroom, a little bit less headroom and a little bit less leg space in the rear, but I'm talking about it is plenty. Okay, so climbing back here, I do have the seat in my seating position, and even if I didn't, you'll be fine. I'm 5'8", and I mean, you can space out in here like nobody's business. It's crazy. Knees don't sit up too high. Thigh support is really good in the rear seats, which a lot of trucks lack. It's just a really great place to be. You got two cup holders back here as well, two vents for the rear seat passengers, a little bit of storage here, two USB-C, or I'm sorry, a USB-C port and a USB-A port as well. And then you have a household style charger back here. Now this is the all season matte, as you can see, has a little bit grooves in it with a tire mark going through. I love detail, so that's neat. Matte seat pockets or matte pockets in the seats back here, and that is pretty much it, folks. Of course, you do have an armrest back here as well, and then if a passenger is back here, I'm sure they would enjoy the open air feel that you get back here. So this is the interior of the TRD Pro, front and back. Guys, let me know what you think of the interior. Is it worth the $75,000 price tag? Does it feel like it? One more thing I do want to mention, this does have the upgraded JBL audio system. Easy way to tell, right under the driver's seat there. That lets you know you have the upgraded audio system. But folks, I know why you are here. We are going to test drive this hybrid truck, okay? It is lacking a V8, but I don't think you will be disappointed with the drive. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, folks, setting out here in the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Now, this trim level is one step below top of the line. Top of the line is going to be the capstone. That's going to give you all the luxury goodies, the additional leathers, and all the luxury accoutrements. Now, this being a TRD Pro is going to give you all the off-road accoutrements. So it's based on the limited package with those off-road goodies. Now, the one biggest thing that you get in this vehicle is going to be that iForce Max hybrid engine. So this is a hybrid, gas and electric power. It produces over 400 horsepower, over 500 pound-feet of torque. If you watch my videos, you know that it's not a cop. Please don't leave that in the comments for me to read. We know it's not a cop. It's just a cop car that sits right there. But talking about the engine, for the best acceleration performance, I'm going to do an acceleration run. You want to put it in 4 high, and I'm just going to foot on the brake and brake torque it. Here we go. So as you can see, it will put you back in your seat good enough. A lot of publications get this car doing 0 to 60 in a little under 6 seconds and a little above 6 seconds. So I'm going to say right at 6 seconds is what this car does when it's in 4-wheel drive high mode. when you have it in two-wheel drive mode, again, these off-road knobby tires are not the best for those types of things, so it will spin the tires a bit. Wanted to show you guys that this truck got it. It's got it. Now, I really wanted you to hear that TRD Pro exhaust that you get on this vehicle. Now, it is pumped in audio through the speakers. Apparently, you can hear it pretty well outside, but it is pumped through audio here, so kind of giving you those V8 noises, even though this car is obviously lacking a V8. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, it does not sound bad at all. It does not sound bad at all. It's pretty slow to downshift there. Maybe it's because it's so hot outside. I'm hot too. But outside of that, pretty surprising engine. Now, with this being a hybrid, let's talk gas mileage really quickly here. Right now, as you can see, it says it's averaging 12.1. I don't want you to take that away as if this car has terrible gas mileage. When you're filming, the car does sit idle a lot of the time, even though it is a hybrid and the engine will shut off. It doesn't shut off all the time. So it is idling a lot, and I have been, you know, having fun with the vehicle to show you guys more of what it can do. So the gas mileage is really low right now. I will say the highest that I've gotten on the road trip I took it on was right at 17 miles per gallon. I personally haven't had it get above 17, a little, well, in the 17s, I should say. When they rated, I want to say up to 22 on the highway, maybe 20, I think it's 22 on the highway. So I haven't been able to touch the actual gas mileage, the advertised gas mileage. But I will say that this hybrid system is unlike any hybrid system in any Toyota vehicle that I've had a chance to work with. Even a Tacoma, if you watch my Trail Hunter video, I spoke about how the engine rarely cuts off as far as the hybrid system goes, and as soon as it does, when you tap the gas, it's cutting right back on. This car does that, but even more so. So it's rare that it'll cut off. Let's see if it does now. It won't. But let's make this U-turn, which is going to lead me to another thing. The turning radius on this truck is atrocious. This is a really entertaining car to drive, though, I will admit. Now let's talk audio system. Now this is the upgraded audio system that you can get in the Tundra. It's a JBL audio system, as I showed you guys earlier, and honestly, super duper pain point for me. But let's go ahead, take a listen to it, and then we'll talk about it. right, folks, and that was the upgraded audio system in the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. Like I said, pain point for me, $75,000 vehicle. It's just not strong. If all the windows are up and, you know, you tune it just right, it sounds decent enough. But when all the windows are down, volume is an issue. You really cannot hear it. You know, if you have friends in the car and you guys are just going out having a good night, again, the stereo doesn't hit the way that I feel like it should. I've just heard much better from Toyota products, so it's a little bit lackluster for me. But you guys let me know in the comments what you think of the audio system of this TRD Pro, and would you spring for it, or would you just go ahead and get the standard one? So if you made it this far in the video, folks, I absolutely appreciate you for watching. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post a new video. But as always, I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you folks in the next one. Make sure you stick around for my ownership review, living with it in the real world in a city setting, because everybody doesn't take their vehicle off-road. A lot of us buy it for the looks. Let's keep it real. But I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one. Bye-bye.